This is the Scary Movie Clubcast.
Live from the Scary Movie Clubhouse, this is the Scary Movie Clubcast. I'm Mackenzie.
I'm Nadine.
I'm Megan.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're here tonight to start off with a movie review. Tonight we watched the movie Seven, which is super good. Amanda's going to give us a brief synopsis of it.
Okay, yes, so it is about Detective William Somerset, who wishes days away from retirement, Avi, as all detectives in TV shows and movies are, and his new partner, David Miller.
Brad.
A.k.a. Brad. They... Oh, Mills.
Yeah, Miller's
We're
wrong.
just super professional.
Nothing but professionalism here on the Clubcast.
Anyway, they discover... Well, they didn't discover them. They get put on the case of these grisly murders that all happen to be tied to the 7 deadly sins. And, should I spoil it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the end, Brad Pitt's wife, Gwyneth Paltrow's head winds up in a box.
That's right. She is... what? Well, she's part of the Wrath murder.
Yeah,
She elicits the wrath.
She elicits the wrath. But we'll get into that.
Yes.
So, yeah, full spoilers.
Yeah, this is not a spoiler-free zone.
No. Ding dong,
We'll
ding
edit
dong.
that to ahead of the full-on spoiler.
Oh boy.
Spoiler siren coming at you. We should do a spoiler siren. But not that.
No, it should be different every time, I think.
Every time one of us has to volunteer.
Our laughs are way too loud.
Spoiler siren. Nadine has fun facts for us.
Yes, okay.
She has been jonesing.
Oh, she's been
You hear my
dying.
papers?
She
got
has
mad
a
fun
sheet
facts.
of fun facts.
I got 3 pages. They're not that much
Yowza.
though. Okay, so essentially I really wanted to do the fun facts for this one, and it's because the fun fact that I knew for sure that I wanted to do, that was the one that I cared about, I knew without even having to look it up, which is that in this movie, I think it's really interesting because we have 3 people who were involved in the Me Too movement. 3 of the 4 main stars.
Interesting.
Yes. Kevin Spacey, dirty perv, as we all now
Yes.
know.
And
Vastly
me.
talented, terrible person.
Yeah.
Accused of many things, not just one. Probably one of the vilest ones being trying to come on to a 14-year-old when he was 26. But yeah, lots of terrible things. So, great actor, horrible person, we don't support you. And then we have Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow. This is super cute. They fell in love while filming Seven, because, it's a romance.
That's why it was okay for him to graze her boob.
Wow. We're referencing when he first gets into bed with her, and he, goes to touch her, and he definitely grazes her boob, and we were all like,
Right there in the opening scene.
Welcome to Seven.
But yeah, they fell in love while filming it, and Gwyneth worked a lot with Harvey Weinstein, so I think we can all see where this is going.
Yeah.
She was having a business meeting with Harvey in a hotel room, and he tried to end the meeting by saying, "Let's finish this in the bedroom."
He did that a lot.
My
Yeah.
That was his
gosh.
go-to move.
Exactly.
No.
And Gwyneth was like, pass. And so she told Brad, who was then her fiance.
Oh, snap!
They moved a little quick.
Didn't know that was...
Oh.
Yeah, she was only 22 when they
I told
filmed
you they'd
this.
date.
And the movie, I'm not sure when they were filming it, but it came out September of 1995. They were engaged by December.
Wow.
Yeah. I got all the facts you want to know. And so then she told him, and what he did is they were at some Hamlet on Broadway premiere, and he basically threw Harvey against the wall and was like,
Yeah,
"You ever
boy.
make her feel uncomfortable again, I'll kill you."
All right. Bravo.
Yep. We like it.
stand
We're
a man.
into it. And I just think it's really cute what Gwyneth said about it, because she was like, he leveraged his fame and power to protect me at a time when I didn't have fame or power yet.
Wow. What a
Soup's
man.
cute. Love it.
He's just a good guy.
He is, though. Yeah, when Gwyneth was talking about him, she talked about, when they broke up and stuff, and she was like, I was just so young, and he was too good for me. It was cute.
Stop.
It was super cute. Which also, just something that, like, cracked me up is when I was looking at all this stuff today, like, about the Me Too things, one thing that cracked me up that I heard is the rep for Weinstein, when all the allegations first started coming out, was like, any allegations of non-consensual sex are unequivocally denied by Mr. Weinstein. And it just cracks me up because it sounds like even he doesn't believe it. It sounds like he's saying it and he was just groped in the background. Like, that's what it sounds like to me. Which also, the stuff that I watched that was, like, the news stories about the Me Too movement that talked about this cracked me up because Matt Lauer was sitting there. Who would also soon be fired with rape allegations from a coworker.
Oh, gosh.
So, that was my favorite fun fact in the first one. Other fun facts are, and this was so hard for me not to say while we were watching it, like, just because it came up all the freaking time. All the Rain is because originally this movie was going to be based on Noah's Ark.
Huh.
And, yeah, exactly, right? Wow. And the flooding. And then it just kills me.
Wait, how?
Exactly. That's what I think.
David, tell me more.
Because they said that, and I was like, but what was left? I was like, what did you have that was still in here now? Because this movie is wholly based around the 7 sins.
Wow.
No idea. But apparently that's why there's all the rain.
So murders based on Noah's Ark?
Well, like, I guess based on, like, the wicked and...
Like, a lot of people are being wicked, so God floods the earth.
Okay, I
something
mean,
like,
somewhere
Noah
along
gets
those
out.
lines.
Okay.
So it's torrential rain because he's starting to flood the earth.
I guess
Yeah.
I kind of get that.
They probably started doing it and they were like, guys,
This doesn't make
this is really
sense.
making a lot of sense
No.
in production, so let's use this. Maybe that's with Glutton, maybe that's why they had to add, maybe that's why it was so like they had to go under the fridge. I don't know. Maybe they were like, oh, now we're gonna make it 7 deadly sins, so we have to add Glutton somewhere.
I know, I wonder what time they realized that that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, some other fun facts are that Brad actually, during the chase scene, cuts his hand on one of the windshields and finishes the take because he's a boss, and it was pointless because that take was not used.
Oh,
that's sad.
It's sad. And they hadn't filmed all the previous scenes yet, so there are scenes in there where he, like, keeps putting his hand in his pocket or, like, behind the chair awkwardly because he's already got that cast on, baby.
Oh, wow.
Wowza.
Yep.
Dang.
Let's see. Also, one of the things that was super interesting was the part where Morgan Freeman is, like, throwing the knife. So that was just, like, some dinky prop knife, and they handed it to him, and they were like, yeah, you're just gonna, like, act like you're doing it. We got this wire, we're gonna attach it to it, it's gonna be great. We're just gonna special effects it. Morgan was like, I'm pretty sure I can just do this. And they were like, no, this knife isn't sharp. Like, you're not gonna be able to do it. And no, that's just him doing it. There's no special effects. He's just Morgan Freeman.
Wow.
So, can do whatever he wants, basically.
Wow.
Oh, my last fun fact is that in Gluttony, when they have the guy laid out across the table, people who were doing it just thought it would be funny to give him, like, a crazy large penis. They were like, everything about this guy's gonna be big.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It is noticeable.
Yeah.
The size.
Yeah.
It's intentional. Oh, and then I did actually have one more that I had forgotten about, which is that when Morgan Freeman comes back to the Gluttony house to, like, look at the fridge and stuff, he, like, cuts a do not cross thing that's on the inside and then opens the door. And I just know that if I were David Fincher, that would kill me. Like, the moment that someone realized that and I was like, oh no, I would be so devastated.
That's an excellent point. Let's say to the back door, because wasn't it a house?
Yeah, it was a house.
Just so devastated.
Okay, so we're going to talk about some of our favorite parts of the movie.
I really love the scene where they're sitting in the office and his wife calls and talks to him for a second and then forces him to pass the phone to Morgan Freeman.
I love that. It's so
cute.
And then I love it when he's like, wait, what'd you say? He's
He's
like, oh, I'm coming over to your house for dinner. And he's like, what?
Been invited to a late supper.
I think collectively one of our favorite things was Brad Pitt's ties.
Yeah, the two of them.
Oh my god.
Three.
He had
He's
a
got
big,
two fish ones.
big mouth bass. tie.
Oh yeah.
Then he got the multi-fish tie,
Yes.
and
he is,
the creme de la creme,
yeah,
the basketball, and the hoops.
that's
Yes.
right.
Love
Worn
it.
that one for days.
He really did. That one
Definitely
was
the
a favorite.
fave.
Yes.
And his nice
Amazing.
wrinkly oversized shirt.
Always.
A mess.
Always.
Looking a mess.
Looking a mess. Morgan Freeman, classy man.
Yes.
Got
Big
hats.
old glass of wine. Big old glass of wine at Brad Pitt's house.
Oh,
But-
goodness. Yes. I think my favorite part, because it was very telling of each detective's personality, was that Morgan Freeman, his character, he went to the library, he went and looked up the book and everything and read it when, what book was it that they were looking at?
Canterbury Tales.
Yes, about the 7 deadly
Yeah.
sins. And and Brad Pitt's character was like, asked a beat cop to go pick him up the Cliff Notes version of the book, and then hid them from Morgan Freeman so he wouldn't know that he got the Cliff Notes version instead
So
of reading
good.
the actual book. Which we don't even know if he actually ever read the
I
Cliff
don't
Note.
even
I don't
remember
believe that
the
he
Cliff
did.
I mean, I do think he did. There was one part where he was talking about the stories and stuff where he knew where he was when Morgan Freeman says that word that Brad Pitt's character did not know.
So he maybe skimmed through them or something.
Mhm.
Read a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Oh, attrition.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Mhm.
Sure. Yes.
Yes, yes. That's the word. Yes.
I'm the Morgan Freeman.
Maybe it's the Morgan Freeman. Yeah, I think
I
everyone
wish.
was just really cast super well in that movie. I don't know. I was just thinking that when I was watching it, like how well, like Brad Pitt has this like childlike, like kind of attitude about like just really young, but like I want to like do so good, and then Morgan Freeman has this super good like polished, seasoned thing. I don't know. Like I don't think they could do a remake of it, you know, because it's so good.
Yeah, it's perfect just the way it is.
No, remake would be dumb.
Yeah. I just think David Fincher is one of those directors who you don't remake his stuff.
Yeah.
The final scene is so good too. Like I just imagine like if you didn't know what was coming, if somehow it was like your first time seeing it and it was a surprise, your mind would just be blown.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
Oh,
so
man.
true.
Yeah, they were sitting there
such
thinking
a
like,
good reveal.
oh man, because his Brad Pitt's wife had called earlier in the day and he didn't get it.
Right. It's just wild. Like, and it's never. I feel like it's still one of those things where it still takes a minute to sink in that his wife is dead and that's her head in the box. Like even when you're watching it for the first time, you're like, no.
You're like, Brad,
Yeah,
you're
realizing
what's
it with
in the
Brad.
box?
Yeah.
You're like,
what's in
You
it?
can tell there's something in it because it's bloody, but you're like,
Yeah.
I know. Like, who is
A
it?
head.
Like, who is it?
It's Gwyneth.
It's Gwyneth!
The box doesn't fill itself, Mackenzie.
It's Gwyneth! Yeah. Do we want to...
Also, him with the dogs is hilarious.
Yeah,
When
their
he comes
house.
in and spends like the first 10 minutes home with the
That was
dogs.
adorable.
Very cute.
It's me. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I gotta show the dog some love and attention.
My children.
Big dogs for a small apartment. Mm-mm.
And to
Yeah.
have what there were like 3 of them, weren't there?
So,
There was more than
at
one.
least
Yeah,
two.
there's
Yeah.
at least 2.
But I guess they were used to be out in like
The country,
rural
yeah.
area.
Upstate, as Gwen
Upstate.
said.
yes. So that's probably why. And it's like it's hard when you start to have an animal. You don't want to get rid of the animal just because you move, but
Yeah.
yeah, they were probably too large for where they were living.
Yeah, especially in a house with, like, the subway. Like, that's terrifying. So what were some of our, if any, least favorite parts? We're all staring at the ceiling trying to think.
The ceiling will tell me the answer.
I would say for me, there's only maybe possibly 2, if even. One that I know is my least favorite part is when he's riding in the back of the cop car and they're going out because they gotta be there for the box delivery.
Right.
And he's like justifying all the people that he killed, and he's like a diseased whore, and and it just really bothers me because I'm like, she's not lusting after these men. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, if anything, if you had wanted to punish the John but you just killed her, then sure. Like, I mean, because him killing her the way he did is punishment enough. But,
Right.
him, making it seem like she specifically was the representation of lust, I was like, but I don't, no, she's not.
But she's not the one lusting after men.
Yeah.
She's just trying to make some money.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
That city's not an easy place to live. I'm sure it was the only job that she could get for herself.
For sure. That guy who
It's
acted
the best
that,
paying job she could get for herself.
That's, yeah, very true.
yeah, the guy who was the one who, killed her, acted his part so well.
Yeah. It's
Yes.
Very clearly
unnerving.
traumatized.
Yes.
It's hard to watch. It's unnerving. You're watching it and you're just uncomfortable
Yeah.
because it's so good. You're just like, whoa,
I
whoa,
mean, yeah. And they definitely, I feel like for being such a heinous thing, they definitely showed in a classy way, because they're just she's dead.
whoa. Right.
And you know that that's what happened, but you don't see it happen. You don't see, I don't know, him stuck or anything. Or on him, you just see the picture from the sex shop.
Yeah. I think so, because all the other bodies, pretty much all, I think all the other bodies they show,
Yeah, we got to see
What's
up
going
close
on,
and
yeah.
personal with
Mhm.
them. Yeah.
but not that one, which is pretty tasteful, since it was a sex crime. What was your other? You said there's two.
Yeah, the other one, I'm not even sure if I actually feel that it's a least favorite, but when he is out to breakfast with Gwyneth, and he's just giving her terrible advice and talking about how he pressured some woman that he had impregnated into getting an abortion, and I'm just like, but no, I love you. And I'm like, don't make me dislike you. And then he's like, and that was the right decision, and I'm like, oh, nail in the coffin. And so that's not my favorite, but I don't even know if I would say that it's the least favorite, because I'm like, well, every character has layers, and you shouldn't just think that someone's perfect. So I don't know, I don't exactly know.
That's true. I feel like it's a good moment for his character, for us to realize that he's not all good and perfect and polished. But I think it's upsetting as a woman to watch that scene and be like, oh, we know that's not the best advice, and it's
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that is not what we do.
I think it's just something to add to the fact that he's been so put down by this city and this town and all the things that people do to each other in it, and how bad it is that he's just why would we bring some other innocent life into this horrible mess that we've made?
yeah.
And it's just to try and kind of add to how jaded he is about humanity and society.
Good points.
Which, if he were making the choice, then sure.
Mm-hmm.
But pushing her into
Yeah,
making
yeah.
that choice, I don't support.
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it was a discussion between the two of them of what's the best option for us.
Yeah, he's like, I wore her down.
Yeah. Traumatizing. Really.
Mm-hmm.
What parts did you guys not like, if any?
I mean, I think it's all good. It's just, the only issue I have is, again, we were talking about when we were watching the movie, when the delivery man comes down that road,
Yeah.
you're like, dude, no way, the cops would have put
way.
they're going down this lone country road, they have maps, they know what this road is like, so they would definitely have, after they've, turned off on this road, would have put, a barricade so that,
They have
no
a
one can come up.
helicopter.
Yeah.
Well, I know, and also they would have had backup way close behind them.
Yeah.
Backup would have interceded.
It's sort of, you have to just really suspend reality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one
Which is
for
easy
sure.
to do the first
Yeah.
time for sure. On your fourth or fifth time watching the movie, or you see all of the little things.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so
Exactly.
true.
True story.
And then, kind of this idea that Brad Pitt's character kills Kevin Spacey's character, and then Morgan Freeman's supposed to just, chill with it. Which is not what would happen in reality. Maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Or, there'd be backup, behind them, or... I love that they make this guy run on foot.
Yes.
The delivery
The
guy.
delivery
Oh,
guy.
Man.
Go! He runs off on foot!
I know. He doesn't even try to get back in the van. He's just like, okay. Running.
Full speed ahead to nothing.
I know. Literally, miles. You see
Into a
nothing. It's just so funny.
Without his wallet or his
'Cause,
car,
I mean,
just nothing.
Had I been in the position, I would have been
Oh,
I would have been like,
Freeman had taken
can
his
I
wallet.
take the van?
Well, see, I would have even asked because he
really sad
says
right now.
go, And I would have been like, okay, great. I would have hopped into the van
And
and
took it
started,
off.
because he had the wallet, but he didn't have the keys.
No, the
Morgan
keys were
Freeman
still in the-
just took the
his
wallet.
wallet.
So I'd have been like, great. I would have hopped in because I would have assumed that's what he meant.
Yeah.
And been like, great, let me do my 50-point turn. And let me go back the way I came.
as fast as I can.
And, like, even if Morgan Freeman had been like, whoa, you can't take this car, this is evidence, I would have been like, okay, I guess I'm walking back.
But I would have
definitely wouldn't have run.
instinctively been like, zoom right on my feet.
Could he see what was in the box?
No, he hadn't opened
he
it
hadn't
yet.
opened it yet.
Oh,
The guy was gone by the time he finally cut that baby
Because
open.
because I could imagine that maybe if he had seen him open the box, then he would be like, okay, and just like run off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I
because
am not
originally
involved.
they had called for the bomb squad, and
Yeah.
then Morgan Freeman was like, well, I'm not waiting anymore. Bomb or no bomb, I'm
Already
opening it
waited
up.
20 seconds.
Yes, yeah. So, the quality of the plot.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Good plot.
definitely well thought out, which is always
It's got all
much
the little
appreciated.
twisted things we love.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love, this isn't really plot quality, but I just love, like, how many little insights you get on Kevin Spacey's characters. Like, when they go, I love the scene when they go in his apartment, and they start, like, going through stuff, and you're just like, what? This guy is so crazy. And so calculated. And then all the murders are so calculated and thought out and planned. Like, I love that he, like, takes his fingerprints off. Like, he shaves his fingerprints off. Like, what?
On a regular basis, because
On
they
a
come
regular
back.
basis. Like, he just does that, so he has no fingerprints in his house.
You know, I love
It's
it when she says it
crazy.
to Brad Pitt. She's like, "You're not gonna believe me, but we haven't found a print yet." And he's like, "You're right, I don't believe you. Keep looking."
It's so good. I think the plot is, I think it reveals as much as it needs to as the movie goes on. Like, you're always kind of hooked in on, like, it never gets to a point where you're, like, bored. They're just like, here's another murder that, like, you're wanting to watch because you're like, yo, these murders are crazy. And then it's enough of their personal lives where you're like, you want to know what's happening to them.
Yeah, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, it's really good. I don't want to say that seems creepy. I appreciate how intricate the murders are and how tailored they are to the sin that he has perceived that they have committed.
Yeah.
And so he kind of is so specific and tailors each one to each person he has chosen to embody that sin. And I appreciate the detail that went into, like, creating that.
Yeah. Very disturbing.
Yeah, highly.
In the best way.
Yeah.
Scares.
The one with sloth has to be the best
Oh
one.
my gosh, yes.
Best
Yes.
one.
That is so
Like,
good.
how is he
also
still
would
alive?
It's also
How?
the most disturbing.
Oh yeah.
It kind of
Because
freaked
you're
me
like-
out tonight when we watched it, not gonna lie, because I kind of forgot that that's what happened.
That's what I was hoping. I really wanted you to have forgotten it, and I was nervous that when Amanda said sloth, that it was gonna remind you, and that's why I was like,
It didn't. I was just like, I don't know. I just hadn't. I totally forgot that that's what happened.
yeah. I really
It's
wanted
alive.
someone to jump, but no one did.
Well, I was
Surprising.
also.
Sorry.
But if we've all seen this movie before,
Yeah.
so I think that it would be fair to say that if it were the first time I was watching that, it's very likely that I would jump.
Yeah, it's a tense moment too, because you're in there and you're freaked out because of all the air freshness.
Yeah, and you definitely think it's a straight up corpse.
It
Because
looks.
you're like, there's no way
horrific.
this dude is alive.
And
Yes.
the cough
And
gets
it's
in
got
his face.
the sheet over him
Yes.
as if he were
A
Dead.
corpse.
like dead, and
It's
it's
so good.
intense.
Then the cop gets right in his face, and it's like, whoa.
You know, he takes that gas.
I know. You know what we should have googled? We should have googled if they say what that person like
What
was a
his
criminal
crimes
of.
were?
Yeah.
They did.
Because
they said it in the
yeah,
movie.
I know. So we
just
should
don't
Google it because then
remember.
we can know because then we can be like, yeah, because the guy had only done that, and the cop leans in to be like, you got what you deserved.
Which was
Lunatic.
intense.
Yeah.
Very intense.
Didn't deserve this. You and John Doe
I
need to
mean-
sit together.
I mean, that guy is dead. Dead man walking. Because even in the hospital, they're like, if you shine a flashlight in his eyes, he'll go into shock and die. I don't know how you're alive. Like, I don't know how your body hasn't.
How did you survive transport?
Yeah. If that's how bad you are, there's no way. I think that's the biggest scare of the movie. I mean, I think the whole movie, it's not a scary, jump scary type movie. It's like you're
Slow
kind of
burn.
on edge. You're like, ooh, what's happening? I think it's kind of freaky if you're not like seeing the crime scenes because they look really good. So that's kind of freaky. I bet for some people. Not us. We're freaks.
Yeah.
So
More like, and?
we're like, ooh, zoom in. I want to see his rotting body.
Maybe the chase scene, like maybe the part where they're about to go into the apartment, but then he walks up,
Yeah.
and you
Okay.
think that he's like just looking for somebody, but then he just immediately pulls a gun. Like I feel like if it was the first time I seen that, I'd be like, ugh.
I found
He's
it.
a pedophile.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Victor Allen grew up with abusive parents, and as a result of this, as an adult, suffered a variety of mental illnesses. Victor became a drug dealer and was arrested several times for a variety of crimes, including assault and forcing himself on a minor.
Oh.
They definitely said that he was a pederast.
I remember that being said, so I figured it had to be something with children, but I
Yes,
didn't know exactly
and
what it was.
this is funny.
Oh,
So
like
I
a
googled.
pedophile rapist?
I guess I don't know. What I googled, I was like, word search. What is this? And the definition that Google gave me was a man who indulges in pedestry. Excuse me.
Pedestrian.
You're like, that's not helpful.
That's not an answer.
You're like,
Indulges.
okay, let me Google
And then I
Get
was like,
out of
pedestrian.
here,
well, what is
Google.
that? And then it's like pedestry refers to sexual relationship between an adult male and a teenager, typically male, always above the age of 12.
What specific?
Oh.
Such relationships may be consensual or non-consensual. It may be legal or illegal depending on local laws, on the age of consent, and prohibitions on homosexuality.
So not like a full on, like, basically a pedophile, but not totally encompassing the word,
Well,
because
he
he's not looking
forced
for
himself.
anyone younger than.
He forced himself on
On
a
a
minor,
teenager,
so he would be a
How
pedophile.
all that information? Did they give all that information in the thing? He was raised by abusive parents.
I mean, that might
They
be
did
like
give,
script
like,
notes
a-
or something.
They did give like a brief description
They
of
did.
him.
We should
But
have listened.
we were
We
not
did- we were
listening.
not listening.
Talking.
Chatting it
Yeah.
up.
I mean, for all we know, I just read word for
script.
word from the script.
Yeah,
so we
it's
have
very
no way of
possible.
knowing.
Someone's like, duh! You guys are duh!
I know.
Yeah.
We had been talking for like a good minute, and then Mackenzie gets up to use the bathroom, and I was like, "Oh, do you want us to pause it?" We hadn't been paying
No.
attention.
And we
To
didn't.
the stores. You want to pause it?
I
No,
heard you
all
say
right.
a little bit, and then I was like, I'll do what they do.
Go in your body.
And y'all didn't. It's fine. I didn't intend for you guys to pause it, so. But I don't know. I still think that's kind of an intense crime, especially. I don't know.
It's still pedophilia, as
Yeah.
far as I'm
pedophilia.
concerned.
It is. Yes.
It's still kind of a wicked way to go, to die.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Very
I
much
feel
is.
like all of the things that he made these people do were. I mean, who was he to judge these people and
Right.
to deem them
Exactly.
the embodiment of? Because that's what he's
Of the
doing. He's
sin.
deeming them the worst of this particular deadly sin, and
Right.
it's like you embody it in every way, and therefore you must suffer in the most cruel way to show that that you
You're
are
an
this
abolitionist
sin,
or whatever.
and that's all you are. You're nothing else. You're not even
Just-
human anymore. You're just this sin.
Yeah, just picking and choosing how he decides to
Yeah.
read
I
the...
wonder why he was sloth.
I wonder too, because I feel like the pedophilia has
Seems
nothing.
active.
Nothing to do with sloth.
I know
mean,
it's almost like he forced that on him.
I know,
I
you would have
feel
thought that
like-
it would be like money laundering or like,
something
some
where
lazy
you like
crime.
yeah, where you
Tax
kind of lay
evasion.
back. Because I mean, the way he died is obviously sloth, or is dying is sloth.
Right.
But I feel like his
Well,
crime.
Was he a heavy drug user as well?
He's a
I
drug
think
dealer.
A druggie. I think he
It
was.
may be safe to assume.
But I still feel like pedophilia involves a little bit of
Yeah.
going out stalking.
Well, and he
a
forced
child,
himself
forcing
on-
yourself
yeah.
on a child. Like
I don't know. I guess
you
you
can't
could
do that
see it
from
as
your
like,
bedroom.
I mean, as far as those types of crimes go, you're picking on like one of the weakest
That's
groups.
true.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Which, in all fairness, all of this is us being super picky.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
watched the
Nitpicking.
movie
Yeah.
millions of times. We're really picking. Like, we love it. We think it's amazing.
It's such
Yes.
a good movie.
It is really good.
So, laughs. We kind of talked about some of our laughs.
The
feel like-
wine.
the giant cup of wine, and when
That
Not
is-
in a
when
wine
Morgan
glass.
Freeman, like after the little the train goes by and he like finally looks at the glass, he's like,
He's like,
There's
what?
this look of like, what is this?
Yeah.
What did you bring me?
he's like,
Why'd
"This
you bring
is
me a
joke."
full glass of wine?
Pouring it like a soda. Truly.
For real.
It's a very funny movie.
Yeah, not intentionally or anything. Like, there are no intentional laughs except
No,
for
I
maybe
think-
the line.
I think that there's like, yeah, I think it's sort of. I think the only the laughs come from like their relationship with each other.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
like, that's kind
Yeah.
of fun, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
Cliff
mean, we
Notes.
get lots of
That,
laughs.
that
Yeah,
was
lots of laughs.
intentional.
Yeah, the Cliff Notes was for sure intentional and fun.
Especially the part where he like
neckties.
puts it in his desk and he's
Hides
like,
it.
has to share the office with Morgan Freeman. He's like, ooh.
yeah.
look.
So how many boxes out of 5 boxes
You know
What's
what else would be funny?
in the
Would
box?
be, basketball ties.
He did suggest novelty ties.
how many novelty ties out of 5 do we give 7? Wait, how many novelty ties out of 7 do we give 7?
Ah,
It has to
love
be.
it.
1 to
Yeah,
7
7.
novelty ties.
I'm gonna say 6.5 novelty ties.
So Amanda goes with 6.5.
Cut up one of your
novelty
novelty ties.
It's
Just watching
fair.
them.
Do what you gotta do. How many would you give it, Megan?
Give it a 6. I'm not gonna be cutting up any of my novelty ties. Come on.
Only half of your bad fish. Okay, Nadine.
Okay, so I personally, because of all of the nostalgia, because we love this movie a ton. It's the first movie that we ever watched together as Club, and we're not talking about tonight. We're talking about the OG inauguration of Club.
Years ago.
Yes. Well,
A year.
I know it's wild. So I would give it 7 dunking ties.
7 dunking ties.
Love
I think it has high marks from all of us. I'll give it. Mackenzie will also. I'll give it 7 out of 7 dunking ties. High marks, high praise from all of us. It's a
Yes.
good movie.
It
I
is
feel
very
like
good.
oh, it's
You
so
have
good.
to watch it. Hopefully you've already
must-see.
watched it. If you're listening.
Otherwise, sorry.
Yeah.
Not
bad.
really.
All those things that we said that you would enjoy so much if it was your first time seeing it.
We've wrecked that for you.
Well, you wrecked it for yourself.
See you next movie night, and don't forget, there are 208 days until Halloween.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Live from the Scary Movie Clubhouse. Don't call me
Beginning
on-
with a lie.
You can't say that. Now she has to start over again. Because they're not supposed to know that.
Okay. Live from the Scary Movie Clubhouse. Wow. See, now I'm all thrown for that.
Oh my gosh,
All
take
right.
3!
I can't look at anyone while I do it.
That is helpful because in the thing it shows the recording and when you're glad it was
Nailed it.
And marker.
that's what they're for.
If you like knocked the thing off, I would have been dead. I would have been like, recording
Except for my marker is useless because we still haven't done anything.
I know all of this is worthless. We could literally stop and erase and restart and it would be fine.
Oh man. Alright. So, we're gonna talk about our favorite parts of the movie. Nadine's tired, she's yawning.
Oh, call out.
I know.
Just in case anyone hears it and is like,
You can edit that out. There was
no, I was talking over her. I'll have to restate it.
Oh.
Okay, here we go.
We're gonna. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yes?